At the time of recording this, we don't know if there will be story DLC for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. While the company is working on Marvel's Wolverine, it seems as if the story is complete for Spider-Man 2. However, with the Insomniac data leaks earlier this year, a roadmap was revealed for the game, and as of now, the projects haven't completely lined up with that map considering the new suit update recently wasn't a part of this timeline. But even with it being up in the air regarding future story DLC, there is evidence to suggest that we could be getting at least one of these leaked DLC plans, thanks to Insomniac leaving the debug menu in the New Game Plus update, and that is the Beetle DLC. The story chapters in the debug menu suggest that this version of the Beetle will be Tombstone's daughter, Janice Lincoln, and that's interesting since we haven't seen this version of the Beetle in a Spider-Man game yet and Tombstone is reformed. Obviously, the story aspect of the DLC is important, especially with the mid-release that was the City That Never Sleeps in the first game, but the main thing everybody wants to talk about is which suits we could get along with the DLC, and in this video, I wanted to share my predictions for the Beetle DLC suits. In the first game, we got 3 suits in each chapter, and based off that, I'm expecting we get 3 for each character in the Beetle DLC, something not too far off, as the last suit update we got 8 in total, and with the New Game Plus update, there were 2 new suits in total, and of course the color variants. We'll begin with the suit for Peter, and one I think would fit the theme of this DLC, but a suit I'm not a huge fan of, the Hornet costume. Honestly, I don't really like this design. I get it, it's supposed to be different from Spider-Man since it was a part of the Identity Crisis story, but like many designs that were in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game, this one was ruined for me just because of how bad that game was, and I don't remember using this costume much. But I do think it would fit the DLC a bit since it kind of looks like Beetle. I also think including this design would be unique as the gliding traversal would be different, similar to what we get with the Secret War Civil War suit. And next is a 2-for-1 since we know Insomniac likes to pair suits for Miles and Peter, a suit many have been asking for since the first game, Captain Universe for Peter and Miles. I'd say this is one of the more popular Spider-Man designs. It's an all-time classic, and it harkens back to Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro that featured this suit and the Beetle. It'd also be neat to use this design with Miles' electric abilities and the white tendrils for Peter, and between some of the paired designs for Miles and Peter, this would be one of the better ones in my book. Wrapping up Peter's section of the video is a costume that I've made a video on that I've dubbed the most requested suit that isn't in the game, and after 2 games, 2 suit updates, we still don't have this design. Ben Reilly's sensational suit. So I am including this one in the video just because we don't know if the Beetle DLC is the only planned DLC for now, if we're even getting it. But if we are to follow this leak slate, then I think this would make more sense for this design to be a part of the Carnage DLC since this suit does become Spider Carnage. But for the sake of what we know, I'm including this in the 3rd spot for Peter, a part of this DLC. It seems like Insomniac hates this design. We've been asking for it since Spider-Man PS4, and the reason I can think of why it hasn't appeared yet is because Insomniac is saving this as a Cindy Moon alternate, since Silk doesn't have many other designs to pick from, and it would make sense for her to wear suits of other female Spider characters, considering this suit is as much as Mayday's as it is Ben's. Honestly, if this one were to get added to the game, I'd replay the whole story just to use this design, and I think it would be neat if they also gave us Spider Carnage to use for when we get the symbiote. I find it hard to pick suits for Miles since he's a new character, and really almost everything he's worn has been featured in the game so far, but thanks to my friend LynCD0 on Twitter, I was able to find more alternate suits for Miles that he's had through media that haven't been featured in the game yet, but one that I've been interested in seeing long before Spider-Man 2 released is Miles' Vampire Hunter suit. This is a solid design, and it would be unique to use because it would require the cape physics Insomniac put in the game just to give us like 3 suits that use it and still leave out one of the peak designs with the suit. And finally, I'd like to see this homemade design Miles wore in Marvel Action Comics. The only issue is the mask, so I feel like we won't get the suit because of that, but changes can be made, and most of you know I'm a big fan of homemade suits because of the relatability to them, and this is a good homemade design, something a bit different but not too far off from other Miles homemade suits. So let me know what you all think. I'm hoping we get at least one of these when the DLC drops, although realistically we'll probably get some designs that nobody asked for in these original suits that Insomniac came up with. But as always, thanks for watching, be sure to subscribe, follow my social medias, hit that like button, and I will see you guys again in my next video.